kittens learned to purr in a quiet little village. There stood a cozy house with blue walls and a wooden porch. Inside, a basket of soft cloth lay in the corner of the living room. In that basket lived 3 tiny kittens. They were Luna, Milo, and Snow. Their fur was fluffy, their eyes round, and their steps still clumsy. The kittens had a loving mother, a calm gray cat named Misty. Every night Misty curled around them and sang the song of cats, her purr. The low, steady hum filled the room and made the air warm. The kittens listened closely, but none of them could purr yet. Why can't we make that sound? Luna whispered one evening. She pressed her tiny paw against her chest and sighed. Milo tried first. He puffed up proudly, opened his mouth, and pushed out air. But all that came was a squeaky meow. He looked embarrassed, and Luna and Snow giggled. Watch me, Snow said with confidence. He tried so hard that instead of a purr, he let out a big hiccup. The basket shook with their laughter, but when the laughter ended, their faces grew a little sad. The next day, the kittens decided to practice together. They sat in a circle, veils touching. Luna said, maybe if we all breathe at the same time, it will work. They closed their eyes, took deep breaths, and waited, but the room stayed silent. We will never learn, Milo whispered. His ears drooped, but Snow was stubborn. No, we just need to try again. So they tried once more. Luna pressed her ear against Milo's chest. Snow leaned close. They pushed their tiny voices, but only silence came. The kittens curled up sadly in their basket. Just then, the sound of gentle footsteps entered the room. It was Emma, the little girl who lived in the house. She had cared for Misty since she was a kitten herself. Emma loved these 3 babies like her own friends. Emma saw their sad faces. She picked them up, one by one, and placed them in her lap. She stroked their fur gently, whispering kind words. Don't be sad. Little ones, you will learn in your own time. Her hands were warm and soft. Luna felt something new stir inside her chest. Her body relaxed, and a faint vibration began. It was small, almost like a secret. She gasped and looked at her brothers. Milo's eyes widened. He felt it too, deep inside, a tiny hum ready to come out. He pressed against Emma's hand, and suddenly his chest joined in. Snow blinked in surprise, then let out a soft sigh. At first, nothing happened. But then as Emma scratched gently under his chin, his body trembled, and the sound came. His purr was shaky, but it was real. The 3 kittens looked at each other in wonder. Together, their purrs filled the air. It was quiet at first, but soon it became a soft song, weaving like music in the warm little room. Emma's eyes shone with tears. Listen to you, she whispered, smiling. You found your voices. Misty, their mother, lifted her head from her nap. She listened to the harmony of her children. Pride glowed in her eyes. She walked over, curled beside them, and added her deep, steady purr to their gentle chorus. That night, the house was alive with sound, not from radios or instruments, but from the soft, steady rhythm of 3 kittens who had learned the most important song of all, the song of love, safety, and home. From that day on, whenever Luna, Milo, and Snow curled together, their purrs told the story of how they had once struggled, how they had almost given up, and how love had unlocked their hidden voices. It was not just a moment they learned to purr. It was the moment they learned that sometimes, with a little patience and a gentle touch, even the smallest hearts can sing.